ما أريد من هذا الشعب إلا أن يزيد في الحمد والشكر إلى الله عز وجل، ويزيد من محبة الوطن، ويزيد من العمل ومضاعفة العمل لما يسعى فيه من خير له وللدولة والأهل. هذا اللي أنا أدوره من الشعب، وربنا إن شاء الله يوفقنا جميعا على ما يحب ويرضى.
We are honored to host Ms. Aiysha Sheikh Ahmed, who has international expertise with over 30 years of experience in the field of human resource management, organizational development, and talent management.
تقرب منازلها إلا محب زايد أسسها واليوثن وراها داروا.
The UAE, the people of the UAE, the leaders of the UAE have been a great inspiration to my life, and I'd really like to take this opportunity to appreciate all the leaders of the United Arab Emirates.
احنا شعوب لها نفدى ثراها نبذل الغالي لها دوم ونهب. احنا شعوب لها.
Welcome everyone to your favorite program, Peers of Union. Our inspiring guests have moved from the darkness of challenges to the light of success. Our inspiring guests have set a title for success and ambition. And our special guest for today is Ms. Aiysha Sheikh Ahmed. She is the founder of AiHR Consultancy and the co-founder of Cubics Global. Welcome, Ms.
Hello, hi.
Hi, I'm so pleased to meet you today.
Thank you for having me on the show.
Thank you. So please, in the beginning, can you introduce yourself to everyone and tell us about the key milestones in your professional journey?
So my name is Aiysha Sheikh Ahmed. I am a UAE national, and my journey for my career started back in the 1990s in the UK, where the decision that I had to make to do my dissertation while I was doing my BA Honours in Business and Tourism Management at De Montfort University. And that's where that's where the seed was planted for my future plans. And I had decided to do my dissertation on Dubai as a tourism destination. So back in those days, Dubai was, especially in the UK, it wasn't as commercialized as it is today. So I had a lot of challenges when people were asking me, why are you doing your dissertation on Dubai as a tourism destination? What is it about Dubai that you like? You've never been there before. But I resonated with Dubai. It was becoming a tourism destination, and they had a high focus on tourism, on the tourism sector. So I spent 3 years doing all my research on Dubai as a tourism destination and what it would be in the future. And the more I read about it, the more and more I grew towards thinking that this is a place that I'd really like to move to after I graduated. So after I graduated, I did my graduate training program with TUI, which is one of the biggest tour operators in the UK. And alongside that, I was also working with British Gas. And a year after that, I took the challenge of moving to Dubai. And Dubai, of course, as we all know, it was very different back in 1998. But for me, I always say, as soon as you land in Dubai, there's a sparkle, a magic at the airport, and if that magic touches you, then you are totally sold to Dubai. However, I had my family back in the UK, and I had told them that I would only go for 2 years to Dubai. And Alhamdulillah, when I did come to Dubai, I got the chance to work with a tourism company, and it was very different to the tourism company, although it was a tour operator that I had worked with TUI. So it was, it was a great challenge for me. And like any other part of the world, the tourism industry is a 24/7 industry. So I took that opportunity to gain experience in the UAE, and Alhamdulillah, it worked out well. However, a few years later, I had to look at my family situation because I could not be in an industry which didn't allow me to balance my family life and my work-life balance. So that was, I would say, it was a critical point for me because I had to make a decision, a balanced decision between family and career. So Alhamdulillah, I got an opportunity to work with DP World in the HR sector, in the HR field. And that was a very good opportunity because at that point, there were a lot of different entities like Nakil, Ijtima, Tijari that were coming out of DP World. DP World itself was going through a lot of transformations with the ports, with the Jamarak, with the free zone. So we were basically in the center of that, looking at restructuring, structuring, setting up new entities, and that was a deep learning point in my career. I don't think I would have got that opportunity if I was anywhere else in the world. So I really appreciate those opportunities that were given to me, that they trusted me with those projects and undertake those projects. And I truly believe that I wouldn't have had those opportunities elsewhere in the world. So I was feeling like Dubai was growing, and alongside I was also growing as well. So Alhamdulillah for that. And then after that, I was in the transition of going back to the UK because of family reasons. And I had an opportunity with Standard Chartered Bank, but they asked me to come back to Dubai. They gave me a very good project to work on, which was looking at the recruitment processes and outsourcing that to their outsourcing offices. At that time, it was in Chennai. So for 1 year, I did that project. And then since I was in Dubai, I got called back to help set up Nakil's Waterfront and Palm Jebel Ali project. So there, for 2 years, we did the startup of Waterfront and Palm Jebel Ali. Again, a great experience setting up the policies, ramping that up with from recruitment perspective, giving its own identity. And so that was the 2 years that I had spent with Nakil Group. And then after that, I had an opportunity to work with Dubai Holdings. Of course, in 2008, we were all going through very challenging times. And what I'm trying to point out here is when you see Dubai, how it grew, at the point when I mentioned that my life resonates with Dubai. 2008 was a challenging time for everybody, as well as the challenges that we had here in Dubai. So at that point, I transitioned to Dubai Holdings, to the Tatweer entity, where we were looking at a lot of transformation that was going on from people's side and from business side.
So Miss, you have a faithful journey. Who have been your key supporters and mentors?
So my number one supporter in my life had been my mom. May Allah bless her. She was very much of a very balanced person between her religion, society, and women empowerment, because we were 4 girls, and she also came from a family where she was one of 5 daughters. So she always believed in that women should have their own identity, they should have their own rights, and they should use those rights, and also have, when they say identity, yes, as a mother, as a daughter, but also in their careers as well.
Of course, Miss, it wasn't an easy journey. So what were the major challenges you have faced during your career?
So the major challenges that I faced in my journey was the sacrifices that I had to make leaving my family back in the UK. And we are third, fourth generation. So it's not just my family, it's my extended family and also my friends and everything that I knew and everybody who knew me, and start fresh in a country that was developing. And at that time, the technology wasn't so, like, we didn't have WhatsApp, phone calls were not, as what they were today. And it wasn't cheap as well. So I think the biggest sacrifices in terms of my personal life was the fact that the separation with my family. And now, alhamdulillah, it's much easier to come back and forth, and they come and visit me, I go and visit them. And in terms of career, what I saw, which was an interesting, I don't know if I can call it a challenge, but the way the companies, I had come from a country where companies had developed themselves. So they were, in their business cycle, they were operating on a different wavelength, whereas in here in the Emirates, there were a lot of companies that were being set up. There were structures like semi-government companies that were coming in. So we were learning new things and implementing them directly. So that was quite challenging, but it was also interesting. And like I said before, these were lessons and skills that I wouldn't have able to learn and implement anywhere else in the world. Another challenge that I had in my career was having to balance my home life, my personal life, my work life, and continue with my education, which is when I did my master's at Nottingham Business School. However, saying that, when you are organized and you know where you can balance all your different elements of your life, then it overcomes the challenges that you have in your life.
And Miss, of course, every successful venture starts with a clear vision, right? So how were your companies started, and also what vision drove their establishment?
So like I said, reflecting back on my experiences, there were a lot of new entities that we had worked with. So setting up their vision, their focuses, aligning it to government agendas, vision as well, gave me a lot of learnings. So very earlier on in my life, I wanted to set up my own firm, my own company. So the learnings that I had experienced throughout my career, it gave me a lot of clarity and focus on what I wanted to do once I set up my company. And for me, it wasn't easy because my final career as a working employee was with Mubadala, which is a very prestige company. So it wasn't one day that I can just get up and say, I want to leave that company, because I was getting a lot of experience, a lot of projects that I wanted to do. And alhamdulillah, they gave me the opportunity to do those projects, a lot of exposure internationally as well as nationally. So I really had to plan and take that step. And I think at that point, a lot of people were objecting, saying, coming thinking, how could you leave a company like Mubadala? And there were doubts, like, how could I? But I really had to take that leap of faith, and thank God for the processes and systems that the government have set, where it's given us, the women, the opportunity to take our early retirement. So we still have strength and energy to work on what we want to work on. And so for, formulating a very clear strategy from the lessons that I had learned from my experience, and then staying focused. But like we say, we all have a plan, but God's plan is better than our plan. And in 2017, I set up AiHR. Alhamdulillah, we had some great projects, some great clients, and then COVID happened. So the focus, the plan that I had We had to make amendments during COVID, like we had to work from home. But it was, whether COVID happened or whether it didn't happen, this is the business life.
Was it a big challenges for you in this period?
Yes, there were great challenges because people were working from home. There were cutbacks on projects, cutbacks on costs on consultants. So everybody's business plan was changing. So it wasn't just mine. So as everybody's business plans were changing, I had to understand those business plans and then resonate it back to my business plan. So like, what am I going to do now? So during the COVID period, we did a lot of professional brandings for individuals because individuals' careers were also changing. So we did professional branding, we helped people with their CVs, with their LinkedIn's, and with their individual development plans, where they are, where they want to be, because a lot of people were also acquiring a lot of new skills, and companies were looking for people with new skills as well because their strategies were changing, and they had to be more resilient to things like COVID or business continuity, and all these different elements came into place. So yes, it was challenging, but it was also interesting. So every time there was a challenge, I just thought, okay, what can we learn from here and how can we make it more interesting?
Yeah, great. And of course, Miss, after you're hardworking, you have your future plans and strategies for growth, right? So do you plan to expand into new markets?
Absolutely, and that is one of the reasons why we set up Cubics Global. In Cubics Global, we have 3 pillars. One is the project management pillar, where we help companies. It's like an incubator where we help companies grow. We give them services throughout the business life cycle. Whereas in AiHR, we give them services through the employee life cycles. And these are the 2 differences that we have with both companies. So coming back to Cubics Global, we have the project management services around the business life cycle. And then we have our procurement section with a big focus on Japanese products. So we do have a Japanese department under Cubics Global. And then the 3rd pillar that we have, which is the main pillar, is public-private partnerships. So to answer your question, do we have business growth? Yes, we do, especially around the Gulf regions and around the African regions.
So what are the key achievements of your companies that you are most proud of?
So with AiHR, the biggest achievement, what I feel that I've had, is that we don't advertise. Everything is through word of mouth. And we do a project for our client, but then what we realize is those clients continue with us. So last week we had 2 clients where we finished one of the projects. That was in Turkey, and now they want to continue with us here in the UAE. And we had another startup which we helped, which is here locally in the Dubai market. And we helped them set up as trader, and now they are transitioning into manufacturing. So I would say that the biggest achievement for AiHR is our word of mouth and the continuity of our clients.
Miss, of course, the UAE offers facilities in all sectors. So how do your companies benefit from laws and regulations set by the UAE?
So Alhamdulillah, UAE is still a developing country, and rules and regulations are constantly changing. Coming back to AiHR, when rules and regulations change, especially in the labor, in the labor laws, this gives us opportunities to help work with our clients in terms of developing their policies and procedures. In recent time with Emiratization, so we do recruit Emiratis as well for our clients because of the rules and regulations that have changed.
So Miss, after your faithful journey and rich experiences, today you are a successful woman. So how can you define success?
So how I would define success is that you need to stay focused, and you need to stay true to your values. So everybody has their personal values, same like companies have their values. And if it doesn't feel right, and if it doesn't resonate with your values, just learn to walk away. So that's the principle that I work on. Like, okay, this doesn't feel right. Especially women, they always have their gut feelings. If it doesn't feel right, learn to walk away, because it's not, you need to spend your energy on things that will bring value to your life.
So means lots of people from audience, they are a new generation and they see from your story something special inspired them. So what is your advice to them?
So my advice to the new generation, from my experience, and I work a lot with the new generation, is that you need to take accountability and responsibility. Our life, whether it's your personal life or whether it's your work life, it doesn't come with a reset button. So unlike the world of virtual reality or a game or PlayStation or whatever it might be, you always have that reset button. But when you do come into the world of work, there's just no reset button. Whatever you do, you need to take accountability and responsibility for your actions.
The UAE has for sure contributed to your success story. So what is your appreciation message you would like to convey through our episode to the UAE and its rulers?
The UAE, the people of the UAE, the leaders of the UAE have been a great inspiration to my life, and I'd really like to take this opportunity to appreciate all the leaders of the United Arab Emirates for giving me this opportunity where I learned to grow and develop aligned with the goals and the visions of the United Arab Emirates and its different states. So thank you so much to all the leaders of the United Arab Emirates.
Thank you so much, Miss. It was my pleasure talking with you today. Best of luck.
Thank you very much for your time and giving me this opportunity.
Dear audience, this is the end of our episode. Watch us next week. Goodbye.